Bro, back in the day, in my teen era in the early 2010s, God, what a time. But anyway, I thought everybody in their 20s, 30s, and 40s had their lives figured out. You know, given times were different, we're going to exclude that, okay? Because 2026 is not hitting, all right? But back in the day, they had the career, they had the money, the relationships. It just looked like they knew what they were doing, right? But now that I'm here, now that I'm 27, I don't feel like I'm 27, bro. It just feels like life blipped and everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked and COVID. You know, it felt like years were shaved off my life, but mathematically, numbers were added to it because I'm gonna be 30 in 3 years, bro. Ain't no way. It's just so surreal. But being 27 has taught me something, man. Nobody actually has life completely figured out, and we're all just trying to do our best given the circumstances and given what we know. So, here are 10 things I've learned while trying to figure this life shit out. Number one, aging is weird because getting older doesn't automatically mean you become wiser. Now, I'm sure you're familiar with the saying that with age comes wisdom, but everybody knows you have to take that with a grain of salt because just because you age, it doesn't mean you automatically equip the wisdom trait. Age, in actuality, is just a number. Years on the job doesn't necessarily mean you're the GOAT. Some people physically get older, but mentally grow up. And that's a sad truth, bro. Because you can meet an 18-year-old who's wise beyond his years, and then you can also meet a 54-year-old who acts like a complete jackass and is a fool and just is so immature, right? Now, because of that, number two, be careful who you take advice from. Don't blindly trust somebody just because they're older. Now, look at their character and look at their actions. And then once they tell you all these stories and give you all this quote unquote advice, ask yourself, did they actually learn from their mistakes? Um, are they a hypocrite? Are they practicing what they're preaching to you? Or are they just straight up talking out of their ass to sound good? Because there's a difference between somebody who genuinely wants to help and guide you from straying down a path that they are familiar with, that they don't want you to go down, and somebody who just wants you to become their protege. Number three, your definition of success changes. At one point, success looked like having everything. When I was a kid, I thought you needed the mansion, with a swimming pool, a Lambo, having all this status. But now, bro, success is peace, man. Having people you love healthy, having healthy relationships, having enough money where you're not stressing every single day, being able to sleep at night, getting good quality sleep, which is really underrated, by the way, and then waking up and actually being excited for tomorrow. That's success. Number four, everybody has their own timeline. One of the biggest traps in your 20s is thinking you're behind because, somebody's always going to bag a baddie, all right? Someone's always going to get married and then give that baddie a kid, buy a house if you could freaking afford it, right? Somebody is still trying to figure out what they want to do. Somebody's hitting net worth goals. Everybody has their own pace in life. Everybody has their own timeline. Life isn't a race where everybody starts at the same time and finishes together. Number five, your 20s are a beta test because you're trying careers, you're trying to get a job, you're trying new hobbies, meeting all these different types of people and learning from these experiences what matters and what doesn't. And you're making mistakes. And honestly, that's okay because mistakes are literally tuition. You pay for the lesson. And in theory, hopefully, you don't be dumb and then pay for that same lesson twice. Number six, stop caring so much about other people's opinions. When you're younger, you think everybody's watching you, like the Tupac, all eyes on me, right? You think that people are judging you, thinking about everything, you know, kind of like I guess egocentric, is it the word? Thinking about everything you do. But bro, in reality, everybody is so caught up in their own lives and they're just worrying about themselves. Everybody's their own main character in their own storyline, okay? You're literally just part of their side missions, going to work or to school, or you're just that NPC who passes by, right? And once you realize that, life becomes a lot less stressful. Number seven, take care of yourself, bro. I can't emphasize this enough. Take care of your body, bro, because you literally only get one. You know, you can do simple things like go on a walk, do some stretching, do some yoga, or if you want to be like super duper active, do some Pilates, lift weights, do calisthenics. Make sure you hydrate and drink water, get quality sleep, like I said earlier, and wear some damn sunscreen because your future you is gonna thank you, brother. Number eight, learn to enjoy your own company. You have to learn to be comfortable being alone. Go eat by yourself. Who cares how it looks, dog? Go on walks, unplug and read. Go sit in nature. Go people watch. Look, just observe your environment. Hit the gym. Sit in silence. Because if you can't enjoy your own company, you're going to expect somebody else to fill that void, to fix it for you. Because you're just putting a band aid, bro. But the reality is, you're going to need a lot more than that damn band aid to fix that. Number nine, stop trying to impress people. Now, the older I get, the less I care about looking successful, and the more I care about actually becoming successful. Now, look, that don't mean I'm gonna look like shit. Now, bro, I gotta stay so fresh and so clean, and the fit still gotta hit. But I'm not buying things to look like a walking billboard. I'm not trying to be Gucci Gang or Louis Vuitton Don to make it look like to other people that I'm winning. I just actually want to win. I just do winning, you know? That's the goal. And number 10, stay curious and adapt. The last thing I've learned is to never stop learning because once you stop learning, you stop growing. And if you haven't figured it out by now, the world constantly changes, technology constantly changes, especially right in front of our eyes. And as always, people constantly change. And I don't want to become that guy who refuses to adapt because things aren't the way they used to be. You know, there's always going to be those people that will, well, back in my day. Well, I understand that's how it was in your day. But homie, this is my day, right? Shout out Kanye, right? But you have to adapt. It's just part of the things in biology, survival of the fittest, right? It's important to know how to use these things. I'm not saying to go download every new social media app that comes out, but learn how to use tools to your advantage, bro. The last thing I want to become is someone who stopped learning 20 years ago because, bro, good luck. I just want to break that cycle and I want to naturally stay curious. Honestly, the biggest thing I've learned at 27 is that getting older doesn't mean you suddenly have all the answers. It just means you hopefully get better at learning and asking the right questions from the right people too. I'm still figuring things out, bro. You still probably are too, and that's okay because this channel is about getting older, learning along the way, learning from one another, and trying to just life shit out together. So, wherever you are in life, stay grounded, keep swinging, and don't get caught in the web. Till then, I'll catch y'all later.